Georgia by a giant tree. Yay! So on the main street still with a Panera Bread, but also like I think that was probably like a Macy's or something in its day, big old department store. And then across back there, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a statue, and then you have these beautiful old squares. Also went down to the seafront area, which has historic steps, which are the steepest steps I've ever seen in my life. So those historic people either had very, very tiny feet, or just didn't know how to create a slope, or bigger steps apparently, or maybe there just wasn't enough gradient for deeper shallow steps. Anyway, it was quite dangerous getting down the very historic steps, so sometimes we avoided the historic steps and actually went down a ramp where newer, more modern people had created that. So by the water is lovely, down the main street is lovely, and then you've got your historic squares like these, where the like statue for the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil was written about, and the actual statue I think is in a museum now because too many people are traipsing in and out of the square. So, oh my gosh, I love Savannah. It's such a pretty town. I cannot stop saying that. It's such pretty, so pretty. It's lovely, historic, well maintained. People are so friendly, and only a 5-hour drive, and yet we've all managed to have a nap because apparently the 5-hour drive wiped us out. Day one, loving Savannah. As great as Savannah, Georgia is, this is what the kids that we're traveling with have loved the most. The Pokemon toys! Another interesting find in Savannah is a hat shop as part of the old school hats. Purveyors of men's and ladies' fine hats and cloth caps. And I'll tell you something else. It's open on a Sunday night and packed with people wearing hats. Who knew? In beautiful Charleston, Savannah. See, there's the river over there, and then these beautiful old buildings that have all been converted into fancy hotels or lovely restaurants, or on what would be Main Street in the US or the High Street in the UK. They've got just beautiful shops with, like, there's an old school hat shop, there's like the oldie menswear shop, but then they also have like a Michael Kors. It's all pretty inside, so really interesting. Savannah's just an eclectic, beautiful, interesting mix. Now, to get to the river walk where there are a ton of quaint shops, what you have to do is go down, I hope you can see that, what they're calling the historic steps, and there's a lot of them, and these ones are the least steep of them, and you really do need to be holding onto a railing while you go down them, because apparently oldie historic-y people had tiny feet and were very like mountain goats as they went up and down places. So you can see cobbled streets, brick buildings. The kids that we're with did not appreciate the old buildings at all, but I for one love it. And then of course you've got all these beautiful squares with the beautiful mossy oaks and everything. So I love this place. It's such a great feeling to be here. So friendly. Highly recommend Historic Steps to use at your own risk. Now if you see like how far down that is, beautiful riverfront, and then these steps, you can see not a lot of steps to get down, and this is my foot not quite fitting on the step, and you know, I will admit I have big feet for a girl. However, there are definitely a lot of people with much bigger feet, but apparently not in the oldie days, because this apparently wasn't so much of a problem for people in the past. So I suggest the side-stepping approach for these steps. But it, like it says, so across the street from the river walk is the Moon River Brewing Company, which apparently is the most haunted place, or one of the very haunted places in Savannah. I won't say the most because there's a lot. There's a lot of haunted house tours, which I think we might do next time. We were right on the verge, but just a little too tired. So that one, even, I think at certain times of the year, you can stay overnight and do all the readings, and that's what the hotel lady said to us. So that's pretty cool. That's that. That is the sound of the crosswalk, as they call it in the US, or traffic crossing lights, whatever it is in the UK, shouting the numbers at you. 10, 9. And if you walk past these things, when you're not supposed to, they shout, wait, wait. And this is actually like the instructions right here, but you can hear it's like a ton of noise coming out of these things right by a pretty busy road, so maybe that's why. I'll try and catch another one. Telling me I can walk now, so it's counting down. 16, 14. On the other side. 1. And if you are still crossing when that's screaming, what happens is the ground opens up beneath you and the waterway appears and the alligators from the river come down and suck you in. Or you just get hit by all these trucks crossing the street over here. So either way, listen to the guy screaming, 9, 8, 7, and get across the road. Savannah, Georgia. This is, if you can see it, Lady and Sons, which is Paula Dean's family restaurant. It's actually a buffet. Obviously a beautiful old reclaimed building. I mean, it's really, I'll get closer to show you, a stunning building. So it's stunning building. It's actually a buffet. I don't think you come here if you want to eat very healthy food, but if you want delicious food, I'm told you come here. Now, of course, Paula Dean did have a bit of a fall from grace a couple of years ago. I think fresh food delivered there. And I think that actually kids are more on the Food Network more than she is anymore. But anyway, really just a lovely old building. I think that's the most I'd say. We didn't eat there. We found a bunch of other great places to eat, including a really great pizza place down there. In fact, we've eaten really well in Savannah. Good eats here. Cafe, which I'm going to eat at now, called Goose Feathers, which is supposed to be fantastic. And I will say we've eaten great burgers, great breakfast, great lunches, great dinners. We've only been here like less than 24 hours, but someone has managed to squeeze all of that in. So this is definitely a place for foodies to come visit too. Thanks for watching Andi the Unicorn. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're interested in more fun road trip adventures or more fun things that I'm doing in Tampa or more great food adventures from a Greek Cypriot born and raised in London, now living in Florida. Thanks.